On today's video, we're going to take a look at the Magic the Gathering reserve list cards and see how those investment cards are doing. It's coming up next. Hey guys, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to my channel and you're somehow finding me out there on YouTube, thanks a lot for deciding to check out my content today. Really hope you guys enjoy it. Today's video is on a market watch update for the reserve list to see how the reserve list is going, how the sales are staying strong or growing weak. Let's take a look at some cards today and have some fun with it, okay? We're going to go first to card number 1, and that is going to be Metalworker. I clicked the wrong button for a second. Metalworker is an amazing card. It is so underrated, and I'm surprised it hasn't risen more in value yet. I think with the die down of the reserve list and other cards like Modern Horizons 2 and other sets coming up have really kind of slowed down reserve list sales in some areas. But this card actually is still selling strong, but it looks like the price is not creeping up anymore. It's staying stagnant at around the $160 mark, Canadian. You're looking at $145 in the US, $95 in the EU. Now, in some cases, for those of you in the EU, you can always check out a Canadian online retailer on eBay and see if they'll ship to you. You might be able to save a few bucks that way. Keep it in mind. There also are more beat-up copies that are around the $130 mark, or you can get a gold border version if you want something really cheap for the $30, $40 mark. Something good to keep in mind, okay? Because the Metalworker is a card you want to have. Come on, 3 casting costs 1, 2, and his ability is amazing. Keep that in mind. Such a good card. All right, our next one is Grim Monolith. I know. Grim Monolith is an epic card that you should own if you can afford to get one. It used to be a lot cheaper, basically doubled during the reserve list buyout, and it's staying strong. Ever since December 20, this thing's just been going up. It's kind of slowing down now, but the sales are very strong, and I want to get to that in a second. Now, in Canada, you're looking at $3.99 Canadian, $2.05 in the EU, which is very close to each other, but then $2.99 in the US. You can actually find a few copies in the US cheaper than that if you don't care about condition, okay? If you want a beat-up copy, you can get a little bit less. Now, in the sales, I put steady and strong. The regular edition ones are selling steady. Every day or so a copy sells. But the strong ones are coming out of the gold border edition. Whole play sets are selling daily across multiple platforms. And when I checked one of the stores, they sold out of it. They had a whole bunch of championship edition ones, and they're all gone. Somebody bought all 12. So I was like, that's interesting. And they said, no, people buy them for proxy decks. They're playing kitchen table. They don't care. They just want a card. So there you go. Grim Monolith is an amazing card. If you can afford to get it, guys, grab that bad boy. Because later on, when the next buyout rings around, you're going to wish you had the opportunity to get it. And wish you'll look back on this video and say, oh, I wish I'd had it. Now, our next card up is going to be Tithe. Tithe is right there out of Visions. Now, for our 5,000 cake subscriber party that's coming up, we'll be opening packs of Visions. So we might get this card. It might be lucky enough to have it happen. I know I got a few stacks up there. When you look here and you see this amazing card, I thought it would be going down or kind of staying slow. It isn't. The sales are very strong at $50 in Canada, $43 in the US, and $29.99 roughly in the EU. This card has continued to have and stay very strong as a seller. People are looking for the card. They want to have it for decks like Commander. It's being used in a lot of places, which is keeping it steady in the sense of how much it sells, but the price is not jumping up to where it's insurmountable to buy it yet. So it's something you might want to keep an eye on if it's a card you're trying to buy, or you've thought about buying, or you forgot it existed in some cases, right? You're like, oh my God, really? Yes, searching and cycling through to get land is always a good thing. Love that card. All right, our next card. I know, Griffin Canyon. Can you believe it? Now, Griffin Canyon is again from Visions. Visions! Now, guys, it has no drawback. I want to get to this in a second. It has no drawback. Taps for colorless mana. You can untap target Griffin and give it a +1/+1 till end of turn. So it can pump a creature a little bit, which is kind of nice. But here's the real kicker for me. At $15 Canadian, $9.99 in the US, $7.50 in the EU. The sales have been very strong. Very strong. And I think people are realizing if they've done a Squirrel Tribal right now in Commander, great cards, this can be used in Commander if they ever do a Griffin Commander or give Griffin, tribal support. If they can do it for squirrels, they can do it for griffins. They can do it for a Pegasus. They can do it for whatever they want. But it doesn't cost a lot of money to invest in this reserve list card. Hold on to it for 10 years and see what happens with Wizards. See whatever tribal ideas they come up with. It's a very small amount of money to invest in something like this. It's very interesting to see how many have sold. Far more than I would have expected of a card like this. So it's kind of those little sleeper ones. You're like, I can see what you're doing out there. Very interesting. I found it very curious to see and know what people are thinking when they think of a card like that. Because I can see why you'd want one copy. But why are people buying 12? That's where I go, yeah, you're thinking something just like I would be. Okay, our next card, I know, Erborg Justice. This card is very underrated. I would recommend buying a copy if you don't have one already. And please remember, guys, when you're watching this channel, this is not a finance channel. I have no financial background or upbringing. I have no things on the back of the wall. Just my magic cards I'm hoarding for myself. You can't have any. Unless you bought some. Okay? So this is just for entertainment purposes. I would buy that card. It's Erborg Justice. I already own a play set. Guys, at an average price of $18 Canadian, $10 in the US, $7 in the EU, the sales are basically dead. They're so slow. Okay? But look what that card does. 2 black and an instant. Any of your creature cards that died this battle and went to the graveyard that turn, so you block a bunch of stuff, your stuff dies, and their stuff lived because they put all kinds of pumping things and did all kinds. You play that card, they must sacrifice an equal amount of creatures. Think about how much damage you can do if you triple block one creature. They have 3 creatures. They lose them all as well. It's an amazing card. Okay? Underrated and very underpriced. So it's something to keep an eye on. There's only so many going to be, right? When you look at that card. Only so many are going to exist for any guaranteed period of time. You know, get the P's out there. Very interesting. Okay. Anvil of Beau. I know you've been waiting for this one. Guys, sales are super strong. Oh my goodness. At $58 Canadian, it's still very reasonably priced. $45 in the US, $40 in the EU, which is a little overpriced for you people. I'm sorry, everyone over there. I'm sorry. You might want to try to find that Canadian seller who will ship over to you at not bad prices for shipping. Now, each player is going to skip their discard phase, and then you draw an extra card and then discard on your turn. It's very fun. I used to use this with the Library of Lang, so anything that forced me to discard, I could discard to the top of my library. It was a lot of fun. It was good times. And the sales are strong, and the price hasn't jumped up where it's impossible to buy it. Again, a Visions card. We could be opening a Visions pack and getting this card. I hope we get it for a viewer. It would be so much fun to open that and see what people think. Anvil of Beau is a buy if you don't have one already. There were some moderately played copies that were cheaper than the $58 in Canada and some of the other places, but it depends on the condition you're looking for. Keep it in mind. It probably won't be having any major effect on anything right now, but it's still something to watch. And our last card today is going to be Retribution of the Meek. I remember this card being played against me when I had some craw worms out, and I tried to giant growth them and stuff, and it didn't work out for me. I hit him once, tried to go again, he just wiped my creatures all out. Now, with an average price of $30 in Canada, $23 in the EU, $8.50, $23 in the USA, and $8.50 in the EU, pardon me, the sales are really slow. This is a 3 casting cost board wipe. If you're playing a token deck or small low-level creatures, you can just wipe people out with this because they got big beasties. They're coming. The elves have been pumped up to like 10/10s, and you just wipe the battlefield clean. Come on. A sorcery for 3 that buries creatures power 4 or greater at this price level, and it's got beautiful artwork like the person's praying and you see a giant like thing come out of the sky and like torch the dragon. It's kind of cool. And at that price, you can easily afford to get this card, especially if you can like get it locally in the States, by the way. In the States, the shipping is so much less than it was to Canada. I'm sorry, guys. US just kicks butt when it comes to shipping. The shipping deals are so good. Excellent card. So before we end off today, I know I didn't cover every card in the reserve list. I tried to do a couple of videos in a week covering reserve list topics. It's very interesting to see the sales are not really slowing down. If you made this far in the video, they're not really slowing. It's staying quite strong, just individual cards have slowed down. And some cards like Anvil that were dipping a bit are being bought up by people on the dip. So as it goes down, people are buying individual copies. The same as the dual lands. I noticed some stores like Face to Face here in Toronto had like a sale. One of my patrons sent it out to me. Thank you so much. I took a look at it, and I was very interested to see that they must have overbought, and they're trying to get too high of a price because, you know, 500, 550 bucks for dual land that I can find for 350 on eBay right now is not good for them. It means they overpaid, or they're trying to get too much money back from their sales, which we kind of knew was going to happen because sellers didn't have to sell to them weak, did we? We were in a stronger position, which is why we say hold the line here. It came out to our benefit, not the store. Very nice, guys. So this is MTG Moxman. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Really appreciate all the views, guys. It's awesome. Leave any questions, comments, concerns in the section below. I will always get back to you. Have a wonderful day. I will see you guys soon with more Reserve List talk. Reserve List! Yeah! Hey guys, big shout out to all my patrons out there. Thank you so much for the continued support. You guys and girls and everyone out there, you're all amazing. So amazing. Remember that. Every single one of you, of the wonderful people, are amazing. Oh, I'm not going to bite it. I just want to open it. We have to wait till we do the videos. I want to know what's inside.